And for our first of the worst, that is the worst food at Disneyland, we are going to come here to Galactic Grill for breakfast. I'm going to pick the item across all the breakfasts at Disneyland that I think is probably the worst. And that item is going to be the chicken and waffles. Now, I've had lots of breakfast items here at Disneyland, and this one is probably my least favorite of the bunch, probably because of the chicken tenders. They're just standard Disney chicken tenders. All right, let's have a bite of the chicken. Not bad. Pretty warm. Pretty tender. Not overly cooked. Probably one of the best chicken tenders that I've had at Disney, to be honest with you. This is, yeah, not too bad. I mean, I say the worst foods at Disneyland, and we're going to get to some ones that everybody say are pretty bad, like the pizza at Alien Pizza Planet, the blue and green milk, just giving you a preview of what's to come. But starting off, not too terrible, to be honest with you. I tried to pick the breakfast item that was, like I said, was the worst in the park. But Disneyland has some pretty decent breakfasts as far as I am concerned. You let me know down in the comments if you disagree with me, but pretty much I felt like this was the worst item of all the breakfast items I've had. And it's not bad at all, truthfully. But that's my opinion, and I don't mind it. Couldn't really film the waffle on camera, but let me tell you, it was cold and hard and flaky, and I was expecting the waffle to be the better item of the chicken and waffles. Instead, it was the waffle that was the worst of the two items, and I took that maple syrup and I drenched the waffle in the maple syrup. Still did not help. Even the second one, which had been coated, at the same time and was left soaking a little bit, still, like, it didn't even absorb the maple syrup. That's how, like, hard and crunchy and dry this waffle was. Absolutely, these waffles were not good. For our next food item from the worst foods at Disneyland is going to be here at Bengal Barbecue, which is strange because this is in one of my top quick service restaurants in all of Disneyland. In fact, most of my favorite food actually comes from Bengal Barbecue, but it has one item that you should avoid. And that item is going to be the Tiger Tail breadstick. Not to be confused with the Tigger Tail down from Pooh Corner, the marshmallow one. No, this is a breadstick. It's the Tiger Tail. Now, taking a look at this item, you would probably think that this is pretty decent. And actually feeling it, the texture is nice and fluffy. The last time I had this, it was like stale as a rock. So I've heard from more than just me, though, that these Tiger Tail breadsticks are just not very good. And part of doing this video is I want to see, one, if Disney has improved their bad food. Because if I've had something once and it was really bad, and then I never wanted to get it again, like the pizza flopover from Cafe Daisy, how do I know if Disney has actually improved their recipe if I'm not willing to try it again? So this video allows me to try some of these bad items to see if they've made them better. So let's give it a go. Well, it's not stale. That's about the only good thing I can say about it, though. It does have a little bit of a cheesy flavor, so I feel like that's better than I remember it either. So I guess there's two things I can say about it. Got a little bit of a cheesy flavor, but man, is it dry. Very, very dry. You might take a look at this and think that this is like a biscuit at Red Lobster. The cheesy biscuits at Red Lobster. Oh, this is just one really big cheesy biscuit, right? Wrong. Sorry. It is just a very dry, very chewy breadstick. It's still not good at all. I don't know what it needs. Butter, maybe? I don't know. Maybe it's too thick. Maybe it needs to be a little thinner, like a Olive Garden breadstick. I'm just not sure. But whatever it is, this is still an item to avoid. I've eaten about half of this now, and I will say that the flavor is there. I don't know if you can see, but there is like some seasonings in this bread. The flavor is there. It is not as bad as it used to be, and I am going to eat it. No food left behind here on this channel. We don't throw food away. We don't waste. Here, even if we don't like it, we are going to consume the entire thing. Of course, this couldn't be a video about the worst foods at Disneyland without including the milk stand here at Star Wars Galaxy's Edge. And we're going to have to get that green milk today. And here it is, the green milk. I don't even really remember what's in here, but I do know that this is dairy-free, and it uses like soy milk or something like that, maybe even coconut milk. So it's perfectly vegan-friendly if you want to give it a try. Why the green milk? Well, because I actually really like the blue milk, so I have to choose something that I could potentially not like, and that's going to be the green milk. So here we go. Citrusy and flowery. It's got like a citrus flower flavor to it. Creamy, with little ice crystals in there. Not a slushy of sorts, but more like just very fine ice, crushed up and mixed in with the drink. Perhaps the citrus is... I'm trying to think of what type of citrus it would be. But I can't land on it. I don't mind it. I know a lot of people hate either one. Amy's team, no milk. Doesn't like blue, doesn't like green. My kids like green. My kids will devour green. I prefer blue. Hello! I still prefer the blue milk, but green's not bad. And truthfully, I mean, neither one of them are bad. The flavors are pretty good. I think what turns people off is the texture, because it's not a typical drink-type texture. I really think it's got to be the texture. Our worst food at Disneyland tour continues and brings us to Cafe Daisy. At least this was one of the items that was worst for me when it first opened. I thought I'd give it another try, see if Disney has improved their recipe. So here we are coming to Cafe Daisy. And that's gonna be the pepperoni pizza flop over. I got this the day that Cafe Daisy opened and did not enjoy it, but we tried the Hawaiian one from 90s night and it was pretty good. So I thought we'd give the pepperoni pizza flop over here another try and see if they've improved their recipes. I just tried to eat this while filming and it's not going to be possible, so I am just going to eat it and then talk about it afterwards. So, how was it? Well, it was better than I remembered. It was piping hot. I mean, piping hot. So that cheese was nice and melty and cheesy and stringy. It was very good compared to, say, Alien Pizza Planet pizza, which I do intend to try in this video. Now, it's going to be filmed over multiple videos, multiple days, I should say. So, I'm not going to get it here today. That was probably the last item that I'm going to get on this physical day. The next video that you'll see will more than likely be a different day, being wearing a different outfit and that sort of thing. But we'll continue this going, finding the worst foods. I did find that to be better than I remembered. Was it like the best pizza that I ever had? No, absolutely not. Still not like ranking as a decent pizza. Disney struggles to do pizzas, burgers, chicken tenders, that sort of thing. I don't know why. I don't know why they struggle to do them. They just do. Probably going the cheap route, I feel like, on a lot of these things. But whatever the case may be, it was better than I remembered. And very filling, very filling. Like I said, much more filling than an Alien Pizza Planet pizza as well. So between those two things, yeah, maybe you should actually give Cafe Daisy a try. And maybe it will rank higher in my restaurant rankings next year. Guess we're going to have to wait and see and find out. If you are enjoying this video and finding it helpful, please hit the like and subscribe button. It really does help out the channel. And if you want to save money on your next Disneyland vacation, call my friends at Getaway today and tell them that SoCal Disney Dad sent you. Or click the link down in the description and use my coupon code to save on their already discounted hotel and ticket packages. It's a new day and we're at it again looking for the worst foods at Disneyland. And now we come to the Mint Julep Bar. And what we've come to get are the classic Mickey beignets. Now, it is not the beignets themselves that find themselves on the worst list. In fact, beignets are amongst the best snacks that you can get at Disneyland. Most classic, most iconic, and most favorite by a lot of people. However, what is going to find itself on the worst list, at least from what I've been told, I haven't tried it yet, is going to be this hazelnut dipping sauce. And somebody says this is just downright terrible, so we're going to give it a try here today and see what we think of it. And then I also got the New Orleans Mint Julep. Now, this is one of my personal favorite drinks in the entire park. However, Amy doesn't like it. It is a bit of an acquired taste, I suppose. It has like a spearminty sort of like toothpastey feel to it, she says. I think it's rather refreshing. A nice little like, it just has like a fresco sort of taste to it. I can't really describe it, but I love it. And so I got it. I am dripping sauce all over the place, so let's go ahead and take a bite before I make this table any more messy. Just have a bite without it. I wouldn't call the hazelnut sauce terrible. I would just say that beignets themselves don't really need any help, I guess is the primary thought here. They're nice and fluffy, nice and doughy, covered in powdered sugar. I mean, you got all the flavor you'd want from the powdered sugar. Why do you need the hazelnut dipping sauce? But let's get some more. I mean, if you like Nutella, you'd probably love the dipping sauce. It's a little cold, and I guess that would be like maybe the primary concern because you're putting it on a nice warm beignet, and it lowers the temperature of the beignet, which is a little disappointing in a sense. It definitely could be a better dipping sauce. I'd almost rather have maybe something like strawberry jam over a chocolate sauce, but it's not bad. In fact, they had one of these seasonal beignets this past season was chocolate hazelnut beignets. They actually had them in there already. So I know people must like it enough for them to even make a seasonal beignet off of it. But yeah, I mean, still, I'd probably just rather eat a beignet without any dipping sauce. It's an extra cost for the dipping sauce anyway, and you don't need it. I will add that the mashup of flavors of powdered sugar beignet, chocolate hazelnut sauce, and New Orleans mint julep just did not go well. I felt like it kind of clashed. It ruined the chocolate hazelnut, even the powdered sugar kind of ruined the flavor of the mint julep to me. Also, the mint julep was kind of toothpastey. I mean, like I said, I don't mind it. I kind of like it. But I will say that their seasonal mint juleps that they've been coming out with that have a slightly different flavoring, they rotate what the flavoring is. I've actually enjoyed those, I think, a little bit more than the classic New Orleans mint julep. But I do still love me a good mint julep anyway. I know a lot of people will disagree, but I do enjoy it. And I know a lot of other people also enjoy it as well. So I'm not alone there. While we're on our way to our next food location, which is going to be no surprise to any of you, you might be wondering, we just mentioned Amy. Where is Amy? Why is she not here filming this video with you? And it's just because I didn't want to subject her to eating the worst foods at Disneyland. I come up once a week, sometimes a little bit more often, but my family only comes once every 2 weeks or so on average. And we usually have other things that we want to eat, things that Amy would rather eat than subjecting her to a list of supposedly the worst food at Disneyland. So that's why I'm just doing this here by myself. Even though I do agree with a lot of you, she has the best facial expressions, especially when eating things that she does not like. And of course, that one location that we said you would not be surprised about is Alien Pizza Planet. You would probably be shocked if I made a list of the worst foods at Disneyland and did not include Alien Pizza Planet. We actually really love the pasta from here, but we're coming to get the pizza, which I agree generally is not that good, but have not had it in a while, and we're gonna see if it's improved since then. And what we got here was just the plain pepperoni pizza. Now, I thought about getting only cheese, but I thought we would add a little bit of flavoring here, seeing if there is some saving grace to the pizza. We did not get one of the specialty pizzas, which I do find to be a little bit better. Don't forget that they also have a Parmesan cheese as well as crushed red pepper flakes available for you. We are going to try it without before we move on to either one of those options. Let's have a bite. Crust is really stiff on the bottom. Layer right above the crust is a bit doughy, not overly so. Not a bad texture. Could be a little warmer. This is definitely just sitting pre-made. I wish it were perhaps a little bit warmer. Flavoring was not terrible as well. I got a good bit of cheese, got a good bit of pizza, pepperoni. I mean, again, it's not terrible, but to put it the way one of you guys did, I don't remember who it was, you said that this is basically like DiGiorno pizza. You called it DiGiorno pizza. If you want DiGiorno pizza, I suppose, buy a whole pizza for $6.50 or whatever it is at the grocery store instead of $9 for a single slice. So, I mean, I do get that aspect of it. This is overpriced for the type of pizza that it is. It's not the best pizza you've ever had in the world. It's probably not the worst. I mean, it might be amongst the worst pizza. I don't know. I feel like I've had worse pizza than this before. So I don't know. It's just my opinion. Comparing it to the pizza flop over at Cafe Daisy, I would absolutely take the pizza flop over this piece of pizza if you really want something pizza-ish. If you really want pizza, it's not bad. but there are better things to get at Alien Pizza Planet. Try their shrimp fusilli countdown. That one I really like. There have been some other items that they've had here before that are pasta related that I also really like. I almost always steer clear of their pizza here, though. Just as a general rule, don't order pizza from Pizza Planet. We often say that we should rename this Alien Pasta Planet. I had one more food place to get in this video. It was going to be Riverbell Terrace because it's the sit-down that everybody says is the worst, but my reservation isn't for another 4 hours, and I'm pretty much done here filming for the day all the content that I had planned for you all, and I didn't want to sit around just for 4 hours, so I'm thinking about heading back home and just canceling that reservation. We're not going to get any food from there, but I did want to talk about some of maybe my worst foods, because I feel like what we got today, or the past couple days, hasn't actually been like too all that bad, but everybody has different opinions, and so my personal dislikes for foods to avoid are going to be like chicken tenders and cheeseburgers. The chicken tenders and the cheeseburgers around the park are just not good in my opinion. I'd steer clear of them. I'm also not the biggest fan of the spiced lamb flatbread at Red Rose Tavern, if they still have that. I've just found it to be a little too spiced, like too many spices, too many flavors. I just don't really like it all that much, but otherwise it's just the basic stuff. If you can eat chicken tenders and cheeseburgers and pizza somewhere else outside of the park, then don't get it here. I recommend that you get foods that are unique to Disneyland, snacks that are iconic or classic at Disneyland, things like that, things that you can't really easily and readily get back home. I understand, chicken fingers and cheeseburgers are safe. They're comfortable, especially for kids, I get that, but I do ask you to be a little bit adventurous, and maybe you might find something new that you like. Anyway, if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button on your way out. You got questions, drop them in the comments below. I'm always happy to answer them. Click this video to keep watching. Thanks for watching, and we will see you again next time.